Good evening, Internet. Shroom here, playing some more Standard tonight, and we are playing a kind of a janky mill deck. Not the kind of mill deck you're used to seeing in Standard, but one that is probably about the fairest that you can build. I call it Aggro Mill. What is Aggro Mill? Let's take a look. So we are indeed a mill deck. We're trying to mill our opponent's library. However, whereas most mill decks in Standard are trying to basically use it milling as a combo win finish for like a Dimir control deck, using like Singularity Rupture combination with Riverturn Monument. We are just an honest to goodness mill deck that is trying to use cards to mill our opponent incrementally turn after turn, including creatures that mill as they enter the battlefield or when they attack. What am I talking about? Well, the mill pieces we are working with, probably the all-star of our deck, is the Veteran Ice Climber. It's 2 mana for 1/3 vigilance, can't be blocked. Whenever it attacks, it mills cards equal to its power. So that's a repeatable source of mill that comes on a body that has power and toughness. We're also using Cruel Somnophage that on the adventure side is a sorcery that mills for 4, and on the other side is a creature that has power and toughness equals the number of creature cards in all graveyards. Desperate Bloodseeker is a 2/2 lifelinker that mills for 2 when it enters, and then the Mighty Watcher of the Wayside is a 3/2 that mills target player for 2 cards when it enters and gains us 2 life. So like, these creatures are really bad, but they mill. We're enhancing the mill that they provide with their Into the Battlefield trigger or by their attacking with other mill pieces. We do have a 1 of Riverturn Monument. We have a 1 of Ether Siphon that we can use to draw cards at max speed. Whenever we draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. Now, this is one reason why I like playing this kind of mill deck that uses creatures, is because this card, like if you get to max speed, it becomes Teferi's Tutelage, which historically is like the best mill card in a mill deck. This one is very hard to get to that mode, but we are actually the kind of deck that can get to that mode. We're a creature deck that is also a mill deck. We attack with creatures, which means we might be able to get up to max speed. So that's why we're running this only as a 1 of. I tried more copies, but it just is a little too inconsistent. We also have the Water Crystal to enhance our mills. It's a 4 mana artifact that makes our blue spells cost less. If the opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many cards plus 4 instead. So this just accelerates every bit of mill that we have in our entire deck. For 6 mana, it can mill opponents equal to the number of cards in our hand, so like kind of a finishing move. But most of all, we're just really interested in the plus 4 to all of our mills that this provides. And then, like, of course, our creatures die. That's the problem with trying to mill with creatures as opposed to like just playing a control deck. But we have ways to counteract that as well. We're a Dimir control deck, of course, so we can duress those removal spells from our opponent's hand. We also can just keep our creatures on the battlefield with not dead after all. 1 mana to, like, you know, do the scam thing, essentially blank their removal spell, have a creature come right back onto the battlefield and gain another Into the Battlefield trigger, or gain a power boost, which is really great for our Ice Climbers. We also are running a 3 of Bounce Off, which is just unsummon, but we can use it defensively as well to like block a creature, unsummon our Desperate Bloodseeker, playing it again, get the mill trigger again for its entering the battlefield ability. We're also running as a 1 of Spectral Restitching, which is an instant card that we can use to exile, to blink X artifacts or creatures. We're going to use this for creatures, of course. Again, this is another very defensive piece that we can use to like blink multiple of our creatures as we block during a combat step, have them come back into the battlefield, trigger their mill ability again. But like, we have removal, you know, we're a Dimir deck, so we can also just Tragic Trajectory our opponent's creatures. We can shoot the Sheriff our opponent's creatures. We can Bitter Triumph our opponent's creatures. We have a 1 of 0 point ballad, so like, and we have creatures including Lifelinkers, so we actually can win games just by attacking with our creatures. As bad as they are, you know, these commons, like, if you manage to keep your opponent's board clear and disrupt them enough, you can just win games via combat. So that's another thing we have going for us over the control version. And then we've got a couple of supplemental pieces, like the equipment is good for this deck. I really like equipment with the Ice Climbers to give them a boost to toughness that doesn't go away like an aura. So we're running 1 of Buster Sword and a 1 of Lost Jitte as equipment. We are interested in like the highest power boost we can get for the mana value, and Buster Sword is that. Like, our pickings are kind of slim for equipment in these colors, honestly. Buster Sword gives us the biggest power boost for our buck to get our Ice Climbers up nice and big, and it makes it so they draw cards for us when they hit. That's also pretty good. Lost Jitte is very cheap and can accumulate those counters to put counters onto our +1/+1 counters onto our Ice Climbers, or simply for other utility like blanking opponents' blocks and untapping our lands. Yeah, I think that covers the main board. Total of 24 lands in the deck because we are like a control deck. A couple of Jiddors and the full 4 of Restless Reefs are our tech. Restless Reefs are probably going to be a way that we close out a lot of games. It's just an excellent creature land that mills, and it's just a good attacker. The sideboard contains some counterspells and a null. We're otherwise pretty bad against artifact decks in particular. A couple of Essence Scatters, a Spell Pierce, and a Negate. Duress, Intimidation, Tactics, and Poison the Waters are additional discard spells we can board in depending on the matchup that we're facing. Ghost Vacuum, number 2 and 3. There's one Ghost Vacuum in the main board, by the way, because since we're a mill deck, like, we're going to be putting cards into our opponent's graveyard. We have to be ready to deal with graveyard value from our opponent's side. So we can board up to 3 Ghost Vacuums. We can board up a second sweeper in Deadly Cover-Up. Singularity Rupture seems like it would be a good fit, but 6 mana is just really more than we want to pay. I think Deadly Cover-Up being 5 is really more where we're at. It also allows us to, like, exile something. And then we've got a Tragic Trajectory and Issue the Sheriff for more removal. Malicious Eclipse as another sweeper against weenies. And a Sorcerer Spyglass can name Planeswalkers, Troublesome Artifacts, or Creature Lands. So that is the plan. Now, why would you want to do this is another question. I think, like, if you compare this to the Dimir control decks that win via the Singularity Rupture and the Rivershire Monument, it has a better plan B, I guess. Like, the things that are good against control aren't really good against this. The deck has a much better matchup against aggro decks. Like, I think that's probably the primary thing. Because we have creatures on the ground, including life-linking creatures, that can block our opponent's creatures. We have removal spells, you know. We have the ability to gain life. We have bodies on the board, so we're not totally reliant on drawing our removal. I think we have a better game against aggro decks. We have a better plan B. We can actually just win via combat because we have our janky little creatures that are gonna get there one way or the other, whether it be by milling or by just attacking with that power. Anyway, let's see if we can get some wins here at the very brutal diamond tier of Standard. If you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Tamagawa is our first opponent with Aggro Bill. And this hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. Play a Swamp. Guess I'm going to try to use this Ghidorah as a spell. Double Spire Bluff Canal. Okay. Let's just get down our Desperate Bloodseeker. Millie for 2. Detect Intrusion, get out. They chose not to... Oh, that was a milled. Overlord. So they are milling themselves, it would appear. Attack with our Bloodseeker. We'll play this on black. Play River Churn. I wish I should have held up blue mana. I wasn't paying attention to the auto tapper there, because in response to a removal spell, I could bounce off. Oh, it doesn't look like the opponent's going to bother removing though. They're playing Detect Intrusion, so they might have the ability to counter the trigger of our Exhaust ability, but that's yet another reason why our mill plan is better than average. Moving to combat here. Okay. Let's play a Veteran Ice Climber. Climb that mountain. It is a mountainous 44 cards in their library. Opponent's gonna consult, sure. I should have played this on blue. Quantum Riddler. Warped. Draw those cards. Spectral Restitching. Alright, we'll kill the Riddler in response. Torch the tower on our Bloodseeker. Goodbye, Bloodseeker. Alright, let's attack with our Ice Climber. Got him down to 39 cards. Demolition Field. Pass. Consulting. Okay, let's kill that Overlord. We'll pay life. Spectral Restitching. To bounce it again, okay. Sure. Mill you for a bunch. For 2, that is. Not dead after all, that's a good one. Alright, attack with our Ice Climber. So we can mill them for 15 with our Riverchurn Monuments. Should we just do that while they're tapped out? Oh, because I don't have double blue. I'm stupid. Gonna Into the Flood Maw my Riverchurn Monument. Alright, let's do this. Oh, we don't have any more islands? What? Alright. Mill you. Into the Flood Maw my Ice Climber, okay. In response, I'll bounce off your Overlord. I get a fish. Nova Hellkite. Warped. Gonna get my fish. But they don't even have mana to impend this now. Alright, so I can replay this monument and activate it right away. I can't activate it right away. I can go for this Jador. Let's do that. So they have 13 cards in their library. Giant Craft Helm. Gets equipped to the Nova Hellkite right away. What? So they can do that again and I just die? Oh, I'm gonna lose because I don't have... Because I'm short on blue mana. I'm gonna lose because I selected black instead of blue for this. Because I could otherwise, like, play this and activate it, but I don't have the mana. Because of their giant craft helm, are you serious? Yeah. Okay. Monument. Go. Nova Hellkite. Gets equipped with a giant craft helm. Are you kidding me? Did we actually just get out-janked by a Nova Hellkite Quantum Riddler deck? I guess we want Essence Scatter. I like Intimidation Tactics. Like, all of our counters pretty much are going to be good. extent, maybe annul. I'll get Spell Pierce and negate. We don't need Tragic Trajectory. We basically need to never board out our creatures, except maybe Cruel Somnophage. We can board out a copy of sometimes, like here, where our opponent isn't going to have many creatures in their library. We don't need our sweepers. So we need to board out non-creature spells here. Ether Siphon, I guess. Maybe Spectral Restitching. Let's try this. Intimidation Tactics is good. Oh, we left in our Ghost Vacuum. We don't really need that for any reason. But that's all we have. I don't think this is good enough. I'm gonna mulligan that. Alright, this is better. We'll bottom bounce off, I guess. I mean, maybe this is better. We don't have a discard spell. Okay, there we go. I'll play my Bloodseeker. Milieu. Get the milling started. Alright, negate is good. Let's duress you. Double consult, double Long Rivers pull. Okay, guess I'll take a consult. Reef. Just continue attacking. Alright, do I want to start attacking with my Reef now? I think I do. I chose black again. We'll see if that comes back to haunt me. Opponent consults. In down to 10. Riddler. Alright, so I think we'll go for the Buster Sword. Play another Reef. Go for the Buster Sword and negate their counterspell. Equip it. Opponent scoops. Alright. Our plan B of like getting in with creatures actually works there, as you see. I think I want another duress. Oh, we don't need the Ghost Vacuum we discovered. Okay, let's try this. One lander. Opponent mulliganed. I think I have to mulligan this as well. It's a good one lander. Like, if we drew land number 2, we're on the draw. We can duress turns 1 and 2. You know, this might be a keep. This might be a one lander we can keep. I'm keeping. Okay, we did draw land number 2. Let's duress. Take the Long Rivers pull. Alright, play our tap land. duress. Drix Interception. We'll take Consult, I guess. Untap land, please? No. Let's go for a Consult. Counter? Yep. Okay. Overlord. Okay, we drew a land. That's good. Let's play an Ice Climber. Alright, get in with our Ice Climber. Let's go for Can't Wake Up. Pass. Consults. I think we'll Spell Pierce that. Giant Craft Helm. Once those dragons keep going, it's going to be bad news for us. So the Somnophage is a 1/1 at this point. Million for one. Play a Watcher of the Wayside. 3/3 when it enters mill 2. Target player mills 2, you gain 2 life. Okay. There's the Hellkite. So, wow, what an annoying combination. I could just bounce the Hellkite. Or I could bounce the equipment. Do we even need to do this? Yeah, I guess. Oh, we can't bounce equipment. It's just an unsummon. Getting 1 damage by Ice Climber. Do we even bounce this Hellkite is a question. Yeah, probably. I don't want to take 8. The Water Crystal, okay. I think we're still gonna get beat down by these. We're gonna take like 14 here. Giant Craft Helm, huh? Okay. Alright, just draw land, so I think that's game. This is a 2/2. They're all flyers, which I can't block. I don't have removal, so yeah, GG's. Too bad. I mean, it's close. I never saw a bitter triumph or a shoot the sheriff. Shauna Shipman, the Ambitious, will be our next opponent. We're on the draw and our hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. Mystic Monastery. Let's go ahead and duress turn 1. Scour for scrap. Double 3 steps ahead. Oh, they're like a affinity deck. Take search for scrap. Alright, play... Oh, dude, I played the wrong land. I meant to play the Watery Grave. Hey, what's up, Maven? How you doing? Million for 2. I really meant to play Watery Grave and get down the Ice Climber, but whatever. We will deal. Cynical Emissary. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 artifact drone. There's the cryogenic relic. Okay. So, artifacts. Gotta be the worst possible thing we can face. Because we're Dimir. Yeah, let's just shock and play Ice Climber. That is a large mountain for us to climb. Stunning my guy. Alright, let us get our Ice Climber in there. Draw the Buster Sword, that's a good draw. Play the Buster Sword. Day of Judgments. Okay. Well, here I think we'll get in and attack with our Reef. They have 2 counterspells in their hand, which aren't doing them much good. As soon as they resolve a Simulacrum Synthesizer, though, we die. Braided Net. Tap another target permanent. So they can, of course, do that to my Restless Reef. So I think I'll play this Watcher of the Wayside. Amelia for 2. Let's shock in this blue land. We'll make it blue. Play a Riverturn Monument. So I can build them for 12 with my Riverturn Monuments. So they gotta be worried about that with their Braided Net in addition to my Reef. But they might be able to just unload a whole board of artifacts here. No? Okay. Milieu. Watery Grave. Alright, let's equip the Buster Sword. Okay, now you're gonna tap my dude. Sure. Let's shock this Watery Grave. Activate the Reef. Phantom Interference, gonna create a 2/2, okay. Hey, what's up, peeper? This is the fairest mill deck you ever will lay eyes on in whatever standard format this is. Spider standard. So we can now mill them for 19. United Battlefront. Gonna look at the top 7, put 2 non-creatures with band value 3 or less. That's a repurposing bay. Oh, cool. You have a YouTube channel? Sweet. Yeah, let me know your channel. Let's see. We can just mill them for 20. That seems pretty good. Cool. I'll check it out. Alright, they net down our creature again. We'll play this one on black, I guess. So, let's see if they can beat us with what they have in their hand and 6 cards in their library. Plus, we have a Riverturn Monument. Nice. There's the Simulacrum Synthesizer, which is probably the single scariest card for our deck, but it's not that scary on the current board state. They have a Moonlit Meditation. First time you create one or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that. You need to consider a copy of target artifact or enchantment. Okay. Ether Siphon. Alright, let's fire up the Reef. So which creature would you like to tap? So now when they take this action, does it go back to my main phase? Because I have to say, I'm moving to combat, right? So then they respond by tapping one of my guys, then it's still my main... Okay, they just scoop anyway. Alright, so that is very bad for us. Annul, Duress, Sorceress Spyglass, like, do we even want possibly a sweeper to clean up construct tokens should they land a synthesizer, or are we just giving up that if they get that we lose? Probably we lose if they get that down. So let's Spell Pierce negates. We do want to be able to kill that that warping artifact that creates the tokens. Alright. Trajectory can go. Ghost Vacuum can go. Ether Siphon. Maybe Spectral Restitching can bounce a bunch of tokens at the same time. Maybe one bounce off. Maybe a Cruel Somnophage. Let's try this. In Standard, I think... Okay, yeah, our hand looks pretty good. I would like some disruption. Like a Duress or an Annul. But can we mulligan for that? We'll keep this. In Standard, I think it's kind of hard to not have black, white, or blue in your deck. One of those colors. Just because there's so many creatures that, like, you have to kill right away, and the red removal in the format just isn't enough to kill those creatures very often. Like, if an Uruburoid hits the battlefield, and your opponent already has, like, an Innkeeper's Talent or something, like, you can't Lightning Strike. You lose the game if you don't have, like, a Shoot the Sheriff, basically. Or, like, a Get Lost, or something to that effect. There's a lot of creatures like that. They're just, you must kill them, and white and black are just the most consistently able to do that. Okay. Do we just get down our Jitte? Sure, let's play our Jitte. They counter. Okay. Maybe we resolve this spyglass where we have a chance. White Aura Sight. Fountain Port. We could name Fountain Port. Or we could name Cryogen Relic. Probably want to name Cryogen Relic, actually. Yeah, playing mono red is just like, it's tough. If the play draw goes badly for you and you end up on the other side of like an Ouroboros is a great example. You just lose. Alright, let's attack. Two. Let's play this untapped on black. Play our Watcher of the Wayside. Look out. No more lies. Alright. Good thing we got another one in hand. Our Wayside will not be unwatched. There's the white Aura Sight. So we could bounce off our Desperate Bloodseeker. But I think I'll wait. I'll save that for my Watcher of the Wayside. Not dead after all. Okay, that's a good one. Million for 2. Opponent's consulting. Yeah, I love Pithing Needle as an effect. It almost always has like a good target. And Sorcerer's Spyglass is the closest we have. I like Sorcerer's Spyglass. Pithing Needle's probably better. Double Fountain Port. Is it fish time? What do they have in their hand? Counter spells? Okay, let's attack with our Watcher. Just taking it. Okay, sure. Creating a treasure. Okay, we draw Consult. Alright, attack of the Watcher. 3 damage. It's different to anything we've seen so far. Well, it's we'll see if it's any good. I'm not sure if it's actually good. That's the question. Here come the fish. Immediately sacked. If they want to spend 6 of their mana every turn cycling fish, that's fine with me. Simulacrum Synthesizer. So we could try to consult to find a counterspell. Dig 4 deep. Sure, let's do that. It would have been nice to maybe try to find a land with that and draw 2 cards. Alright, we don't find a counterspell. So So what do we take? The water crystal or land? I think the water crystal. Alright, leave the synthesizer. Veteran Ice Climber. Alright, attack with Watcher. They've got to have a counterspell, right? Alright, let's try for a Veteran Ice Climber. If they counter, that means they can't do anything with their lands, which is good for us. Okay. They do have this treasure, I suppose. Yeah, the Buster Sword with the Ice Climber. I like a Veteran Ice Climber, actually. There's another version of this that I want to build. But, this is what I'm on tonight. Alright, they go down to 5 to make a fish. Moonlit Meditation. Alright, they're just getting ridiculous here. They're trying to make copies of their simulacrum synthesizers. We're just gonna have to mill them out. Or perhaps just attack them for lethal. They are at 5. Alright, they have a braided net. Alright, let's bounce this 7/7 token. Jitte. Let's play the water crystal. Alright, they net down my Ice Climber. They don't have a counter. Attack with Watcher. They have to block with the fish. Which they sack. Oh, man. Okay, I only need to do... I actually can do this next turn. Half their library would be like 17 plus 5. So like 22 cards I can mill them. Repurposing Bay. They get a bunch of 11/11s. Okay, I know Sorcerer's Spyglass should name Braided Net next time. I think that was a mistake. Oh, I love Mage Wars. Are you kidding me? That's like one of my favorite games ever. I can never find anyone who plays it, though. And there's nowhere to play it, really. Like, there's like X-Mage or something? I don't know. There's some kind of like format online to play it. But it didn't work out well for me. Ah, dude. Alright, well, we needed to draw lands a little earlier, and we didn't. So they've got 6 14-14s. Probably good enough to beat us. Here comes the tap. Octagon, yeah, that's it. Milieu. I think I've tried playing on Octagon. Or my big problem with it is like there's no spellbook builder unless there is a better one nowadays. Alright, opponent's just rubbing it in our face. Okay, GG's. I think they have a lethal attack there. So we know to use our Sorcerer Spyglass on braided net. What can we do about those simulacrum synthesizers? But I guess there's nothing really. Maybe we do want to bring in our deadly cover up. Yeah, 0-point ballad probably not going to work against 14-14s. It could though. It could if they were smaller. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep in the one sweeper. Yeah, I mean, I think we got to get them before they get to that point. Try it like this. All right. Man, no disruption of any kind. No discard, no counter spells. I think this is a mulligan. Okay, that's more like it. I think we'll bottom a land. All right. Yeah, MTG Arena is really good about that kind of stuff, as compared to, say, Magic the Gathering Online. It's funny because like you can definitely screw yourself in both platforms. Let's duress. Counter. Let's duress. More counters. United Battlefronts. Repurposing Bay. Let's get United Battlefronts. We are really not good at drawing lands this game. Alright, Riverturn Monument. Opponent does a little consult. We're gonna have to do that next turn if we don't draw land. Requisition raid to destroy our monuments. Okay. Dude, can you get a land, please, deck? There's 24 lands in our deck. Opponent's just gonna hold up their counterspell. Not exactly a fast clock we're presenting. It's a very slow climb. It's a very, very tall mountain. Let's at least bounce their fish. We can wait, we can wait. Maybe we can bait them into countering this bounce off of their fish token. Okay, let's attack with our Ice Climber. Milieu. Pass. It's gonna keep using Fountain Port. Opponent shocks. Alright, let's play a Watery Grave. Fire up our reef. And attack. Here comes the fish. Treasure. Alright, they're down to 7. 34 cards in their library. There's the synthesizer. Braided nets. And another Ice Climber. Alright, let's play this Watcher of the Wayside. We're gonna Ice Climber our... tap our Ice Climber. Milieu. Play another Ice Climber. We'll take 6. Okay, let's bounce off this token. They use their treasure, so they're gonna counter this, I presume. To create copies of their simulacrum synthesizers. All right, GG's. Well, I feel like we had him. We had him game 2. We're too late drawing our land. Yeah, simulacrum synthesizer is probably the deck that we are the worst equipped to deal with, and our opponent's deck was copying simulacrum synthesizers. So I'm happy that we actually came close. Garth One-Eye, the Ambitious, will be our next opponent. So we're 0-2. We'll be on the play. And we'll keep this. Hand looks good. Boros. Alright, let's play an Ice Climber. Dollmaker Shop, so they're like a token deck. Yes. It always seems like a huge mountain to climb at first. And it is, in many ways. Okay, play the Buster Sword. just see if we can dodge the lightning helix. War Leader's Call, okay. So they're just setting up. Well, they can play the Buster Sword. Get in there. Amelia for 4. Draw a card. Yeah, let's play a Desperate Bloodseeker. Amelia for 2. Go. Yes, we're climbing much more quickly now that we have the Buster Sword to help us out. Windcrag. Our opponent's doing nothing but like set up, set up, set up. Man, are they like gonna go off once they do something. Alright, a Verge. Attack. Leave for 4. So they're like a mobilized deck, it looks like. Do you want to consult the star charts? Sure. Yeah, we'll kick it even. We'll get a Duress and a Restless Reef. Duress you. Elspeth, no thank you. More War Leaders called War and War Leaders. Okay, so Rabbits. Play Restless Reef. Sanctifier. Another War Leader's Call. A lot of pinging. Yeah, we'll block that. Watcher of the Wayside. So we do have to be mindful of their board, but I think we can beat it. I think we'll ignore you. Whoops, we don't have the mana yet. Now we do. Yeah, let's Chador you. Attack you. Mill you for a bunch. Draw a card. Yeah, we'll play Watcher of the Wayside for free. Mill you for 2, gain some life. The Dollmaker shop. Sure, we'll block here and here. Cruel Somnophage. They have 12 cards left in their library. So, 2 turns, it looks like. Yeah. Actually, less than that, I think. Cruel Somnophage. Mill you. You're down to 8. Yeah, this is lethal. Activate the Reef. Milia. GG's. Yep, nice. No, that's ice, opponent. It's not nice, it's ice. As in veteran ice climber. Play a Bloodseeker. Mill you for 2. Good game, he says. They seem like a cool opponent. I mean, they had the upkeep kill if I was low enough on life there. Alright, so War Leader's Call. Well, we want a Null and Duress. Yeah, we don't have anything to deal with resolved enchantments either. So we just gotta counter them or discard them. They have things like Voice of Victory though. They're gonna have creatures that produce tokens. Tragic Trajectory, maybe. Bitter Triumph. Keeping some removal spells. Let's cut Ghost Vacuum. They don't seem to be using the graveyard. Maybe we cut one Somnophage as well. Try this. Okay, we got Spell Pierce. That's a good one against them. So we're keeping. There's a bunny. Alright, we will definitely counter that. Opponent scoops? Okay. No tokens equals no life? Wow. Okay. GG's. Destroyer Zeem. The Fervent. Let's see if they want to play Magic. I've had a lot of opponents lately. Like, just lagging and roping. I wonder if, like... I don't know, people just not want to play Standard anymore? I definitely feel the frustration. But everything's going to be fixed on November 10th, right? Okay, opponent joins the game. Yeah, I'd like a duress into Veteran Ice Climber, so we'll keep. Alright, opponent's on a mull to 5. I really like their sleeves. We draw Bitter Triumph. Forest? Alright. Let us duress. Shoot the Sheriff Uroboroid. Alright, let us play our Ice Climber. Alright, they have another removal spell. Alright, we'll play our Watcher of the Wayside. Amelia. Okay, they're just Golgari. Some Mosswood. So we could Bitter Triumph the Mosswood, or we could bounce it off. I think I like bouncing it off. Is it even worth it? I'd much rather Bitter Triumph the Uroboroid. If we just attack and they block with the Monster Dread Knight, they have to cast the Adventure next turn or else they lose it. I'll actually just pass. Maybe I want to bounce my own Watcher. Another Disruptive Stormbrood. I could bounce off my Watcher. Sure, let's bounce the Watcher. That's kind of why we have the bounce offs. Alright, let's play... This is a little bit of a tell, I guess. And we're shocking this in. Let's play our Watcher again. Milia, gain 2. There's Uroboroid. Let's kill it. I think we'll pay 3 life, or do we discard this land? I think we'll discard one of our lands. Kill the Uroboroid. Alright, they attack. River Churn Monuments. Alright, I think I'm going to attack with our Reef here. We'll just get in for 7 Milieu. We're going to win this race as it is. Opponent continues attacking. Maybe I just Jador this one? Yeah. Let's Jador. We'll attack. And then we can Monument mill the rest next turn. Another Mosswood. Hollow Merc Siege. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. Alright, they're the Uroboroid deck. Alright, but we just play Monuments, exhaust Monuments. Okay. So against Uroboroid, we want Essence Scatter. Let's get our second Ghost Vacuum for those Mosswoods. Intimidation Tactics, Poison the Waters, Shoot the Sheriff. Like, probably just about all of our creature removal. I think I like Spell Pierce. So let's cut. Ether Siphon, maybe not such an easy thing for this deck after all. Bounce Off is good against the Uroboroid. We'll cut the Restitching. Cut one of these equipment, maybe. We'll cut the Buster Sword. Cut a Consult. Maybe we don't need Poison the Waters. Actually, I like Poison the Waters better than Duress. So let's get back into Poison the Waters. Right after one Bounce Off. Run 61. Yep, who milled the player. They have lost the will to play Magic. We'll keep, sure. I think this is just garbage time. Okay, maybe they do want to play Llanowar Elves. Okay. That's a tragic trajectory for those elves. Maybe it was better to Intimidation Tactics. Deep Cavern Bat. Takes Intimidation Tactics. Alright, we'll get down our Ghost Vacuum. There's the Mosswood. Our draw has not panned out particularly well so far. Ornery Tumblewag. At the beginning of your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Sure. Alright, we will bounce the Deep Cavern Bat. Desperate Bloodseeker. Alright. Let's exile something from your hand. The bat or the scrap shooter. I think the bat. Play a Watcher of the Wayside. Alright, they have a land and a scrap shooter. Would you like to give us a card? Yes. Okay, sure. I don't think it matters. Alright, we draw another Watcher. That's good. Do we want to block this Mosswood? Probably not. Cool Somnophage. Let's play another Watcher. Kill you. Double Ouroboros. We'll pass. Disruptive Stormbrood. So we're looking for a sweeper here, really? That'd be nice. Yeah, I guess we'll block this 5/5. I think we're winning this one without a sweeper, possibly. Desperate Bloodseeker. Whenever this creature deals combat damage. Sure, we'll play the Desperate Bloodseeker. Milieu. Equip the Jitte. Pass. Other creatures what attacks while saddled, double the number of counters, sure. We'll block the 5/5. Poison the waters, alright. No removal equals death. Alright. We didn't have our sweepers in, oops. Deadly cover up. Malicious Eclipse, is that even worth it? I don't think it is. -2/-2 is not going to be good enough against those boards. So we got cover up 0-point Ballad. I think I want the Buster Sword over the Jitte, frankly. I'm going to bring in the Eclipse because it does kill that mount guy. Alright, let's cut the Somnophages, because we're planning on exiling creatures from their graveyard. Let's cut at least one Somnophage. Alright, let's cut the Somnophages entirely. And we'll go down to 1 not dead after all. Try this. It's okay. Duress is good. We don't have any way of, like, killing creatures. We could maybe draw one. We'll see how this hand pans out. Hopefully Duress will be really good against him. I don't want a mulligan. I've seen a lot of opponents. Okay, good. Llanowar Elves. Malicious Eclipse might be good. If we can cast it. Let's Duress. Long Goodbye, Siege. Well, they have double Mosswood. Yep, Malicious Eclipse is very good against Mosswood Dread Knight, so that's good. Yeah, I think some people... Alright, we missed our land drop here. So I guess we're consulting for land number 3. That's really sucks to do that. Or maybe we're just playing Ice Climber. It gets Long Goodbye'd. Let's just consult for a land. I really would like to make my land drop this turn. Okay. Thank you. Now, let's hope they play their second Mosswood and their Llanowar Elf. That would be great. Alright, there's Mosswood number 2. Play it, play it. Cast it. Yes, there you go. Alright. So we get him good with this Malicious Eclipse. Bye-bye, Mosswoods. What I think some opponents do, and I've seen opponents do this a lot, is like they'll wait in between each decision they make as long as their rope will allow them to do so. And then they'll take the action, you know, and then they'll do it again. Wait as long as they possibly can, take the action. Alright, I think we will play our Watcher. Melee for 2. There's the Long Goodbye. Alright. Do we bounce it off is the question. We could certainly bounce it off. I think we will bounce off our Watcher. Here come the elves. Look out. So yeah, what a lot of opponents will do is they'll take the maximum amount of time between each action. You know, they will sometimes they'll even take timeouts. They won't actually time out, but they'll take as much time as they can between everything that they do. And I think probably just like a lot of opponents they face will just scoop. Here's the water crystal. So like they do everything that they can short of salt roping. Like if you wait long enough, yeah, they'll play the game, but like a lot of opponents probably won't just wait, you know, a minute in between every single action that someone takes, so. Control players, waiting is the game? Yes, well. I mean, why is this opponent waiting so long for everything they do? Assassin's Trophy on the water thing. Sure, we'll take the action. Alright, Restless Reef. I think we'll just start attacking with the Restless Reef. Do some milling. Do some attacking. Okay, opponent has been flooding a bit. They have a restless cottage now. Not that that really matters to us very much, because we are not that concerned about life totals. If they want to spend their whole turn like tapping out to attack with a restless cottage, that's probably okay. Mill. They do block the restless reef. Okay. Let's pass. Scrap shooter. Alright, they're gonna activate the cottage. I think we'll just take 4. That's fine. Ghost vacuum. They have 31 cards left in their library. And let's just attack. Mill. Play a Watcher. Mill. Play a Watcher. Mill. Play a Ghost Vacuum. Oh, did I not attack with my Ice Climber that turn? Oops. I don't remember. Maybe I did. I don't remember. 25 cards left. Fire up the cottage. Sure, we'll double block the cottage. I want to be able to start attacking with my reef, so they could have a removal spell. Okay. So we get blown out a little. It's not like the end of the world. Deadly cover up. Yeah, I think we'll attack. Milieu. Blocking with Scrap Shooter. 20 cards left. Okay. I also didn't activate my Ghost Vacuum last turn, which I should have. A Bloomin' Marsh. Take 4. Alright, let's start using the Ghost Vacuum. I don't think we're gonna have time to, you know, actually get this done. To actually win the game this way. 19 cards. Demolition Field, there we go, that's a good one. Alright, let's Demolition Field the rest of this cottage. Take the action, get a swamp. Fire up the reef. Well, it's got food for days, but their library is getting low. Million for 5. Gonna eat some more food? Sure. Alright, they block with their Llanowar. $12 cards in their library. Another Restless Cottage. Alright. What to exile next? Doesn't really matter that much, I don't think. This is just strictly for Mosswood Dread Knights, really. Bitter Triumph, that's a good one. Fire up the reef. Eat food. Food away. Million for 5. Seven cards at the library. Opponent draws land. Well, opponent has flooded a bit, I would say, but they're just not getting that Golgari value because we're not letting them. We'll pay 3 life. GG's. Got there against Golgari. King Matthias. Matas? The Brilliant will be our final opponent with Aggro Mill. And yeah, our hand looks fine. We're on the play. We'll keep. Do we want land number 5? Yeah, we want a little action, really. Let's go. Alright, Grave. Restless Prairie. Beast. So, are they a Kona deck? Halia. Okay. They just cast it. Okay. We didn't draw anything interesting. Let's shock here and we'll consult. Opponent shocks. Axebane Ferox. Death Touch, Haste, Ward, Collect Evidence 4. Okay. Well, we can't do anything about that. We'll grab a Ice Climber and a Shoot the Sheriff, I guess. Collect Evidence 4. Can't really collect evidence for yet. They are Ice Climber. Cosmogrand. Let's kill that. Yeah, we'll block here. And we'll not dead after all our Ice Climber. So it will become a 2-power attacker. Haha. It now mills for 2 every time it attacks, instead of 1. Ether Siphon. Okay, we can now collect evidence for... let's Ether Siphon. Millie for 2. Pass. Urubaroid. Alright, let's bounce the Urubaroid. We will block here. And I guess bounce this? And pay the ward cost? 1, 2, 3, 4. Duress. Alright, let's Jador you. Maybe I should have done that next turn and duress this turn instead. Million for 2. What's our speed at? 3? We can almost activate Teferi's tutelage mode. War leader. Attacking creatures get +1/+1 till the end of the turn. Okay. We'll take 4. Bitter Triumph. Alright, let's duress. Sheltered by ghosts. I guess I have to kill this, right? Let's attack. Mill you for 2. 18 cards left in their library. We do now have max speed. That's good. So we can draw cards and mill them as we do so. Hold up this Bitter Triumph. There's the Ferox. Okay, so we kill this. Lose 2 life. Oh. Did I screw up? I think I screwed up. Yeah, I think I needed to leave my Restless Reef up. Well, let's draw a card. River Churn Monument, okay. Yeah, I think I screwed up there. So we want... It's another Urubaroid deck. Essence Scatter, Intimidation, anything that has anything to do with creatures. Okay, and we'll cut duresses. Maybe we'll keep 1 duress. We don't need Ghost Vacuum. Cut a Water Crystal. Ether Siphon, actually we got to activate it that game. But I still think it's just a little too hard to get going. Spectral Restitching, we've never actually cast that card. We've only ever boarded it out. I don't think we've drawn it either though, to be fair. We'll cut one Cruel Somnophage. Maybe Malicious Eclipse we don't want. Their stuff is big. Cut one Consult. Let's try this. Okay, this is a one-lander that we have to mulligan, unfortunately. Alright, this is okay. We'll keep bottom Jador. More Bloodseekers? All Bloodseekers? I think 2 Bloodseekers is probably enough. I'd prefer to draw land number 3. Or something else. Alright, let's play our Bloodseeker. Milieu. West Collar. Alright, let's kill the Quest Collar. Attack with our Bloodseeker. No block. Play a tap land on blue. Paw Patch. No attack. Ice Climber. Plus Jitte. Warren War Leader. Alright, so we'll block this Paw Patch and this. We'll take 6. We'll kill one of the Paw Patches. We're so bad at drawing lands with this deck. Let's equip our Jitte. Milieu. Milieu. Halia, sure. Thing has trample? Yes, of course it does. How would it not have trample? It's a 1-drop creature in 2025. Alright, we'll block. So I need to draw an untapped land or I'm probably dead. If I can draw an untapped land, I can sweep this board. And things might be okay. No. Dude, I've been so bad at drawing lands in this deck. It's kind of silly. Alright, let's attack. Oh, actually, we are good. Because I get an extra counter on the Jitte this way. So I guess... do I want to sweep now? I kind of have to, right? Yeah. Black. Black. Untap target land. Untap target land. Deadly cover-up. Do we have the evidence? I think we do. Sure. What do we get rid of, though, is the question. 2, 4, 6. What do we get rid of? Uroburoid? Probably Uroburoid. Alright, they've got 2 lands in hand. Alright, no more Uroburoids for you. Halia. Shoot the sheriff. Land number 4, nowhere to be found. Okay. Well, we got an ice climber with a Jitte, that's good. They're a rabbit deck. Gonna attack with the prairie. Okay. Take it. Consults. We literally cannot buy a land to save our lives. Get a counter. Alright, I think I play this Watcher, which gains me some life. If I survive, I can shoot the sheriff one of these creatures. Alright, we will block the restless prairie. Alright, we draw land, like, too late, really. I do have shoot the sheriff. So, I'm gonna play this tapped. Mill you. Another counter on Jitte. Alright. Let's pass. I guess there's no reason not to just do this now. We can let them attack. Sure. We'll kill the Hylia. Put a +1/+1 counter on our Ice Climber. Block the Lord. Oh, I could have put 2. I could have put 2. I'm so dumb. I could have put 2 counters. Why didn't I put 2 counters? Alright, well, we'll do it now. Because why not? That was very silly. Really for 3. More counters on the Jitte. Bloodseeker, gain 2 life, or melee for 2, play a lifelinker. The climb. They're down to 26. But my ice climber is climbing fast. I need a removal spell for these things or they're gonna kill me. Okay. Block you. Activate the Jitte for a counter. Activate the Jitte for a counter. Eat your bunny. activate this for a counter. Heal you for 6. Play land. Go. $18 cards left in their library. Gonna make a bunny and boost up attackers. Okay. Sure. So we will. Let's take a consult. See what we draw. They have 18 cards left. Take a Jitte and a Watcher. Okay, opponent scoops it up because we can just decimate them with our block there. All right, I think we're just running it back. Maybe we want Malicious Eclipse. Yeah, I think we want Malicious Eclipse. Anything that can kill creatures. The Jitte was awesome there. And when it gets going, it's like Umezawa's Jitte. One other cut. What do we want to cut? Maybe a not dead after all. Let's try it like this. Final game of the final match. Can we get a winning record? We've been in the same exact position the last 2 streams, playing for a winning record in the very last game. All right, this is a good hand. Intimidation tactics, bounce off. We're lacking removal. Bounce off is good though. We'll keep. All right, tragic trajectory. Good draw. Let's look at your hand and exile a creature. For war leader, sure. Malicious Eclipse. Alright, play a tap land. Cosmogrand Zenith. Okay, that's troublesome. I think we will. The question is, do we want to bounce something off? Probably do. So we'll pay 2. Play our Ice Climber. So I probably will bounce the Zenith in response to any spell that they've cast. Yeah, Halia, they're gonna warp it. Alright, so let's bounce the Zenith in response. Paw Patch. River Churn Monument. Attack with the Ice Climber. Milieu. Ah, boy. We've had such land troubles this whole stream. So, Malicious Eclipse is obviously good against these paw patches. It doesn't do anything about this Cosmogrand. I could do it now, or I could wait. If I do it now, it doesn't get my Watcher of the Wayside. Maybe I want it to, though, so that I can void my tragic trajectory at a later time. Yeah, I think I'll Watcher. Mill you. So if they play the Cosmic Grand now... this thing's hasty. Sure. Do we want to block this? Okay. Yeah, we'll block. Gonna lose our Ice Climber, probably. That's okay. We don't really have a good way of dealing with that creature. Oh, it killed both of us. Okay. Tragic Trajectory. You think there's like 18 lands in our deck or something. There's 24. Do I need to consult for a land here? It's kind of sad, but... Alternatively, I could River Churn, get that going. Yeah, I think I want to get the River Churn started. Million for 2. Had to relearn statistics just once. Just Arena. It is amazing how it seems like statistical anomalies occur very frequently in Magic. Now, if I could draw an untapped land, we'd be in okay shape. But of course we can't. Like, an untapped land lets me Malicious Eclipse and then Tragic Trajectory, killing one of these. Like, killing the Zenith, that would have been so good. But instead, I don't know. I guess I just consult? Look for... Oh, man. Those are good cards. Look for a land, finally. Too little too late at this point. This is just a chump blocker, really. There's another Axebane Ferox. Yep. I think we're probably dead here. Are we literally dead right now? Yes, we are. Alright, well, that's a shame to have to end on that note. Alright, so our final results with Aggro Mill was a 2-3 again. For the third week in a row, we were playing for a winning record in the final match, and we couldn't get there. I like the deck quite a bit. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think having the plan B of, like, having a legitimate way of winning games via combat is a really good thing to have in a mill deck. There were games where we won or could have won by combat. There were games where we won or could have won by mill. So I think the advantage of this over the control-y version of mill is that we have a better game against aggro. We have a better plan B of, like, actually being able to win in combat. We had mana difficulties. Like, the mana value of this deck is like 2 exactly, I think. It's a little under 2. So maybe we want to add land number 25, because we are, like, you know, the Water Crystal is one of our most important cards, and it's a 4-drop. We do want to be able to play 3 mana spells and, like, hold up 1 mana interaction. So I could see an argument for land number 25. What is it that I always say about my decks? More card draw, more removal. I think that the card draw in this deck is good. It's like where we want it to be. I like the consult the star charts. You know, we're actually only playing 1 Surveil land, because if we have to play all 4 reefs, because we're a mill deck. We want the reefs. So if we start adding a bunch of Surveil lands, that means, and the Jitte, that means we have, like, way too many tap lands. So we don't, for card filtering, we've got the consults. you know, we've got the Buster Sword under some circumstances. Card filtering wasn't really our issue in these matches. It was more mana that was our issue. So I could see land number 25. I think you could cut the Ether Siphon. You know, like I think it's a different deck. Well, I think maybe we've just proven that this card is not worth trying to build around. The deck that this card wants to go in is a deck with a lot of creatures that can get the max speed up quickly. And if we can't do it with all of our like 2-drop and 3-drop creatures that we're playing, probably there isn't a better deck that could capitalize on this more that you would actually want to build. So you could certainly cut the Ether Siphon. So I think the card draw is good. The removal, however, you know, Standard is a format where you have to, there are so many creatures you just have to kill immediately or you lose. So we've got, I'm kind of questioning whether Tragic Trajectory is even a decent card. I might start just cutting this from all my decks because I just get hosed by this card so much. The fact that it's sorcery speed, it's no cut down, that is for sure. So I'm probably going to start replacing this with better removal because I'm just not convinced this is great. I think somewhere in our 75 we should have a Singularity, whatever, the 6 mana sweeper that mills for half the cards. Yes, it is 6 mana, but I think 1 copy in the 75 would be good. It could be in the main board and you could cut the Ether Siphon for it. You could also add possibly 1 more removal spell, like another Shoot the Sheriff in the main. And for that, you could find something to cut. Maybe one of these Cruel Somnophages. We often ended up boarding out 1 Cruel Somnophage because so many decks are not running that many creatures. Like, I think, like, in this deck, the sorcery, just 2 mana target player mills for is pretty good. But the Somnophage itself is not going to be great in a lot of matches, particularly when we like against decks that have a lot of creatures that go to the graveyard. A lot of those decks tend to be decks that can gain value off those creatures in the graveyard as well, meaning that we are incentivized to board in our Ghost Vacuums and exile them, meaning that we are reducing the body of our Cruel Somnophages when we do so. So I think, yeah, you could cut 1. I like the 4 mana sorcery target player mills for. So cut 1 Somnophage, replace it with... Cut Somnophage and Ether Siphon, replace with Singularity, whatever, the big sweeper, and replace with 1, like a second removal spell. Shoot the Sheriff, Bitter Triumph, something like that. I don't know, Hero's Downfall, Strategic Betrayal, another black kill spell. And then I think you're probably good. One thing you could try with the sideboard, actually, is you could go totally transformational with this. Like, game 1, you're going to play your creatures. People are going to see, oh, you're like a veteran Ice Climber deck. I need to leave in all of my, you know, Shoot the Sheriffs and removal and sweepers and whatnot. And then your sideboard, you could board in, you know, more copies of River Churn Monument, and you could board in some Singularity Ruptures, and you could just board into the control version of this deck. So I think that's an interesting angle to try, is like a true transformational sideboard where you render, after sideboarding all of your opponent's like creature removal irrelevant, you just board into the control deck. So that's something that would be worth trying. I really do like the veteran Ice Climbers. I think like if you can load up power and toughness on this creature, it's an extremely powerful effect to just repeatedly mill your opponent a bunch. So I think there's actually an even better way to build a deck around this guy, which I'm going to try in the near future. So that's not the last you heard of the Ice Climber. We have many more libraries to climb. But that's going to do it for tonight's rendition of Dimir Aggro Mill. I hope you enjoyed watching me play. If you did and you like off-meta MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. There is a link to my Twitch channel in the description of this YouTube video. I do stream MTG on my Twitch channel every Tuesday and Friday night. Please feel free to come by and check it out if you want to see the action in real time. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I'll catch you next time. Later.